I walked to the fitness center to get some exercise, but I really wasn't feeling it. Sometimes I show up to the gym hyped up and ready to grind out an intense workout, but times like today, that spark just wasn't there. Yeah, I train to maintain general health and get good sleep at night, but I also know how much of an impact it has on my mental health, both mood and ability to get other things done. On days like these, I know I need to do a little something physical and just show up for myself, even when it sounds grueling, and I'd rather chill out and do something less energy consuming. I'm definitely not advocating for pushing through and sticking to the original plan either. That road leads to quick burnout and less success over the long term. I'm more of a sustainable and consistent effort type of person to keep me in routine, which is why I'm doing this today. For days like this, I try to keep things varied and interesting. Let me take you through what I did today as an example. It's a weird combination of things without too much structure, but I think that adopting a more intuitive and mental state-based approach to wellness is kind of a game changer. You've been watching me sloppily jump rope just to get a full body warm-up going. I tried to look out of the window as well just to get some extra sunlight in, because that never hurts. Jump roping is a great form of cardio, but it's also really hard to not feel just a tad jolly when hopping over a string. I tried to do some cool boxing footwork here, but it was pretty mid. So yeah, after the warm-up was complete, I headed over to a squat rack and did some hangs with rotations to get some movement in the upper body as well. Just having to grip the bar so hard to hold yourself up brings in a lot of blood throughout the shoulders and arms. While I was doing these, I started to think about what I wanted the meat and potatoes of my workout to be. I wanted to spice things up and have it be challenging without pushing too much weight on the bar. I tried out some of these deep front squats to overhead presses, which honestly felt pretty good, so that's what I went with. I found it's a really fine line between going through the motions and meeting yourself halfway. Of course, you're doing exercise to push it and really get something out of it, but there's a lot of toxicity around tight adherence to a plan and set routine. That's great and all, but we're just not robots. I kind of get worried about saying things like that because I too am a big fan of discipline and overcoming our primordial instincts to kind of rest, but I think that the fitness space would be wise to reshape to a more fluid model. Anyways, back to the workout, where I finished up doing some normal back squats and some Cossack squats, where you kind of go back and forth on each leg. I was then craving a little something for the upper body, so I transitioned to these kettlebell curl press kind of things. The range of motion on them feels quite good, but they still challenge those big bicep and deltoid muscle groups, so I've really grown to like them. I went between those and varied grip pull-ups for a few sets. Here you can see me struggle and compromise my form during the last few pull-ups, which is kind of controversial, but grinding out those last few reps seems worth it to me, even if the form is imperfect. After that, I headed down to our field house to do some more bodyweight stuff on the floor. It was a bit too cold to go outside, but that would have been even better, just in the grass. I frolicked with some handstands and presses since I'm slowly trying to progress in calisthenics, and ended it with a hold against the wall, just to really burn out those handstand fibers. By this point, my legs had freshened up from the jump roping and squats earlier, so I went for some drop jumps. I like plyometrics like this, but I find they really should be kept high quality and intense because the returns diminish pretty quickly. Since I was already at the track, I decided to do a few sprints afterwards, just working on a powerful and collected start and really keeping good posture and maximum velocity. Finally, it was time to do some light mobility, hitting my favorite stretches and loosening up the hips so they'll be well greased for the activities tomorrow brings. I often neglect this part of the workout because, frankly, it's pretty boring and not that cool, but I always seem to benefit from even just a few minutes of it. So yeah, that's kind of how I work out when I'm really not feeling it. I know it's kind of disorganized and certainly not optimal at all, but not every day can stick to the script. I mean, it can for a while until you just end up hating the entire process and becoming done with it altogether. I think these flowy and intuitive days are a great cushion and investment in the journey, but I'm curious to know what you think in the comments. I don't see many reasons to not work with movements instead of work for movement to take care of your body and support your mental health. I hope this inspires you to do whatever you can to show up, even if it's scattered and flawed like today was for me. So thanks for tuning in, and I'll see you on the next one.